Happy Tuesday! This is Katie with Limitless You Health Coaching, your custom approach to weight loss. And today we're talking about something I am super passionate about, and it is sugar. I have a whole workshop devoted to talking about sugar, and when I'm talking to dancers and athletes, it's something that we spend a lot of time talking about. And we're also talking about reading labels and actually checking labels for sugar content. We've all been raised to flip over a package and look for calories. Everyone just looks at calories. And then after calories, maybe they look at sodium. But nobody ever really looks for sugar. It's mostly calories. How many calories am I putting in my body? Because we've all been brainwashed to think that calories determine if it's going to be healthy or not. But what I want to show you today is that we have to look at other areas of the label to make sure that we are choosing a healthy food, and also that we can't trust the front of the packaging that tells us that it's all natural, good for you, great for athletes, great for weight loss, eat this to be fit. We can't believe all those claims because that's exactly what they are. They are claims. And all of those claims haven't all been approved yet. This is called marketing and advertising. This is how these companies make money. And each year, every American is consuming 152 pounds of processed and added sugar. That is crazy because in 1980, it was like a third of that. So we are increasingly getting sicker as we're increasing the amount of processed food which is filled with sugar. Now, most of the time we think, okay, sugar is bad because it makes you gain weight. Yes, that's true, but also sugar is shown to lead to heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancers because of the inflammation on our body. And when we're consuming so much sugar, it goes into our body, and our body just can't handle it, so it shifts it all to the liver. And then the liver says, help me, I need help. So the pancreas, just trying to be a good friend, shoots out a ton of insulin. And that insulin takes all that sugar and stores it as fat. Now, if you're somebody interested in weight loss, well, what we need to do is lose fat. And the more sugar we eat, the more it gets stored as fat. And there's also lots of different triggers in your body. There's some triggers that say burn fat and some that say store fat. When we're eating things like sugar, we're telling our body to store fat. When we're eating things like whole foods, lean animal proteins, non-animal source proteins, whole grains, vegetables, those are telling your body to release fat, which is what we want to do. We want to get rid of fat if we're trying to lose weight. And think about it this way. Fat is on our body as an energy source. We need it. We don't hate on it. It's there for a purpose. So we use it as energy. Every time we eat sugar, a layer of sugar goes on top of our fat. Now, this is what we're supposed to be using as energy, but every time we need to use our energy or use fuel, we're just using that sugar that is laying on top. So every time we're consuming sugar, we're just using that as energy, and that fat never moves. So the less sugar we eat, the easier it is to access our fat storage as energy. Now take a minute, does that make sense? If we want to access our fat, we have to reduce some of those sugar content. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to figure out where the sugar is hiding. And I'm not just talking about cookies and cakes and pastries. I'm talking about cereals, pasta sauces, ketchups, all those different products that you wouldn't necessarily think have sugar in them. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to turn over that package and down where it says protein, carbohydrates, look at where it says sugar and find out how many grams of sugar are in that product. I want you to look at what is it being sweetened with. So you have to read the ingredients. Nobody ever looks at the ingredients. Look at those ingredients and find out what is it being sweetened with. If it's being sweetened with something that sounds like it came from nature, maple syrup, fruit juice, agave nectar, brown rice syrup, these are all things that sound like they came from nature. If you're reading these labels and the ingredients, and you see that it's being sweetened with things like maltodextrin and high fructose corn syrup, words that just don't sound right, they don't sound healthy, then you can assume that this food is not ideal. And so go check out all your favorite cereals, find the one with the lower sugar content, and if they're equal, see what they're being sweetened with. Because there are over 56 names for sugar, and I have a list of those attached below, and you can check those out and bring that with you. Keep it in your purse, keep it in your wallet, take a picture of it on your phone. Bring that with you when you're checking the label so you can identify where the sugar is. Because there was a product that I was reviewing recently, and on the front it said no added sugar, no sugar, or something like that. And when I turned it around, there were 4 different types of sugar in it. And so again, we can't really trust those claims. So how much sugar is in it? What is it being sweetened with? And of course we want to check our serving sizes. So back up to the top where it says how many calories, it's going to say how many serving sizes. Something like Gatorade that has as much sugar as 5 Reese's peanut butter cups isn't going to tell you that. And you might drink one Gatorade thinking this is great, but there's actually 2.5 servings in there. So when you look at the label, maybe it says 10 grams of sugar and you think, oh, that's not bad. Well, actually, it's 10 times 2.5. So that's something else just to keep in mind. Now, here are some examples of why we really can't trust the labels, and we have to start taking responsibility for our own health.
These following images are from sugarstacks.com. Yoplait claims to be healthy and great for weight loss, but they don't tell you that there's more sugar than in a donut or in ice cream. 6.5 sugar cubes there. Cliff Bars are a popular item with a lot of athletes, but there's more sugar in that than in a Twinkie. And what about if it's organic? As you can see here, the organic cereal has just as much sugar as the non-organic cereal.
And one more thing I have to add to this, please avoid chemical sweeteners as much as possible. These are words like sucralose and aspartame, and when you see things like Splenda or Sweet and Low, these are all chemical sweeteners which are stripped of all nutrition. They trick your body into storing fat, and they tell your body to crave things that are high in fat and high processed carbohydrates, so basically a lot of junk food. Aspartame specifically, this is what is sweetening a lot of diet sodas, Diet Coke. This has shown direct links to things like migraines, seizures, depression, blindness, cancers, and Alzheimer's disease. So if you are going to have anything that's sweetened, again, check those labels and find things that sound like they're being sweetened with some sort of natural source. Have a fabulous rest of your week.